Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome back to Bow and Arrow Tarot. And today's pick a card, their true feelings and what they do next. Now, I just finished all three readings and they were very different messages all across the board. For this reading, we took a look at a connection you have with someone whose actions continue to cause confusion and uncertainty. You don't really know where you stand with this person. So we asked Tarot to go ahead and reveal their true feelings. Tell us about their energy that they're bringing and what they might be doing next in this connection with you. We also asked Spirit for guidance on how to move forward and what lessons we might be learning right now. So, as I said, the messages were very different all across the board. We had stability and security showing up, unconditional love and affection, as well as some frustration and lack of confidence. So, as always, take a deep breath, soften your gaze, and allow your intuition to draw you to the pile that calls to you the most. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Timestamps are below, and if you need another moment, this is the perfect time to pause the video. So let's get right into it and begin with pile number 1. All right, pile number 1, let's just jump right into your message. What are their true feelings? Not enough. Who is this person? The creator. What's their energy coming in? 7 Pentacles, as well as a Knight of Swords. All right, what do they do next? We have Mars in Taurus energy. Defensive individual will fight no matter what. And what is their animal spirit? The fox. Earth, a lot of creativity and cunning, supported by the Hanged Man. And we also have another Knight of Swords. So heavy air energy, a lot of communication, a lot of thinking with this person. Spirit tells you to watch out for comfort or perhaps even breaking out of your comfort zone. And we have Spirit of the Fox once again, along finally with Spirit of the Wolf, the loner. So we have a lot of different parts here to look at. And we are going to jump right into their feelings and who they are. But don't forget, stay until the end. We'll be pulling as well the zodiac signs from the rune bag. So when we talk about their true feelings, they don't feel like it's enough. Their true feelings about you and their connection with you is that it's just not enough. They're frustrated. There's a lack of confidence here. You may even be dealing with somebody who has issues with jealousy. And so right away when we talk about this pick a card reading, excuse the sirens in the background, we talk about this particular pick a card reading and their true feelings, trying to get at the heart of why their actions oftentimes leave you wondering how they're really feeling. It could very well be that this individual is putting off frustrated vibes, agitated vibes. And naturally, we always associate that with a lack of care, or perhaps they don't feel about me the same way I feel about them. But in this situation, they want more. And so there's a frustration here. And this is why the confusion. So who is this person? The creator. At their heart, this person is highly creative. They like to make things. And in this case, and looking at the full message ahead, you're dealing with someone who likes to have the power to create, manipulate, construct things the way they want to. There's so many different layers to the archetype, the creator, but it's really that command over something. Say you're a sculptor, you have command over the marble, or you make a clay. You have command over the clay and to fashion it in the way that you want. And that's the strong energy coming from this person. So they are supported with 7 of Pentacles and some Knight of Swords energy. This person is someone who is very concerned with materials, material possession. They think a lot, very intelligent. I'm going to say you're dealing with somebody who deep down inside, truly they feel possessive, I think, of you. They feel protective even, but certainly possessive. And they desire more of you. And in this way, they get frustrated, and the vibe they're putting off is unstable at times. You know, there'll be times this person is very, very happy in your presence and around you, and they seem to not have a care in the world. And there'll probably be other times when this individual is very rude and gruff, right? Their language suddenly is not so soft and sweet. And all of a sudden, their mood may change very quickly, which is probably one of the reasons you're here today, you know, because you want to know their true feelings. And this is all about their agitation and frustration with not actually having more of you in their life. So let's go ahead, pull a clarifier. I want to see a little bit deeper. If you're new to my channel, I always pull clarifiers. I always pull zodiac signs from the rune bag at the end of the reading. So this is an interesting choice, this pile choice, because this person has a lot going on underneath the surface. There's a lot of thinking and planning. Queen of Pentacles, they resonate with a lot of material possessions, or they take great value in how much they have, how much something is worth, how much of it they own. They definitely like creating their own wealth and working and building. This person is definitely a builder. But part of that builder character that they have, that creator character, is also a deep desire to possess, to own things. And this kind of translates to the connection they have with you. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Mars and Taurus energy along with that sly, earthy fox. So what might they do next? You know, keeping in line with that creator energy, they will be very tactile and at the same time very cunning and strategic. Knight of Swords energy over here indicates someone who really thinks a lot and acts on their thoughts. They may be a little bit compulsive or sort of rash, right? Just acting quickly. But in this case, with the fox energy, you're dealing with somebody who really sort of figures things out. They're very strategic. They're very cunning. And when they're thinking, while they do absolutely act on their decisions and on their thoughts and instincts, they're very clever. And they will think something through. Mars and Taurus also, you know, the way they approach this connection with you, and specifically their true feelings, which is frustration, wanting more, is that they will probably make certain physical moves, strategic moves to somehow get more of you, get more of your time. I wouldn't even be surprised if this individual begins to maybe sabotage things in a way, disrupt things in such a way that ultimately you may need to go back to them for something. You know, when we have fox energy at play, the fox animal spirit, earth animal spirit, is extremely cunning, clever, very, very clever, and will sort of build up a whole scenario to get what it desires. And with that Mars and Taurus, this individual, this person you have this connection with, is someone who absolutely is going to get and go for what they desire in a very physical way. And so the Hanged Man and the Knight of Swords comes in again. We had Knight of Swords here and again here for their actions. So again, someone who really, really plans, strategizes, someone who sees the world in a very specific way. With the Hanged Man energy, you're also dealing with someone who's extremely stubborn. So not only do they think a lot, you know, strategize a lot, plan things out a lot, they're very unwilling to sort of change their outlook. You know, this is also someone who very much sees themselves as knowing what they're doing, being right, you know, very clever, and they know it, right? So Interestingly enough, if you have this connection with this person and you have feelings for them, but you're getting these strange vibes, right? Which is why you're here at this reading today. You want to know what their true feelings are. You are dealing with someone who cares about you. But the nature of the issue here is their personality trait and character. You might want to think about if you want to deal with someone who is this sort of manipulating. And, manipulation isn't always when I say it isn't always coming from a completely evil, toxic, narcissistic place. This person just generally resonates with creator energy, builder energy, growing energy, and also a touch of control. I'll be curious later on when we see what zodiac signs are associated with your reading. And so this touch of control really expands to everything, and it also expands to people they have relationships with. And this can really cause some confusing actions and vibes. Things just seem kind of off because nobody's really privy to their plans. Let's see what the fox has to say. More swords energy. Really, I'm going to say this person probably talks a lot, communicates a lot. This is a mental individual. Let me pull the second one. Something's calling me. Three of Swords. Something called me to pull that out. So one of their frustrations is they also have fears of rejection, abandonment, fear of possibly being lied to, or betrayal, fear of betrayal. And so this is one of the things that is kind of underpinning this energy with this person is they definitely suffer perhaps some baggage from previous relationships, right? Sometimes you say to somebody, how did you become this way? I hear that, some of you may resonate with that. You may have somebody in your life, you're connected to them, but something about the way they behave and act, something about the way they orchestrate things. There is a touch of that manipulation, and you say, and yet on top of everything, they're extremely clever. So you say to yourself, how did you become this way? There's the baggage. So what does Spirit say? Spirit says, remember your comfort zone and remember the true value of comfort, right? So sometimes we get too comfortable. And there may be a case of that here. This person certainly is going to pull you out of your comfort zone, right? Because I think they're going to have you hopping if they haven't already, especially because of this dynamic. And so Spirit's guidance for you is to remember to take a moment and really see and look at what comfort means to you, right? And is it worth it? Sometimes you deal with situations for what you believe to be comfort, and you're dealing with so many uncomfortable things, to manage a small bit of what you perceive to be comfort. So Spirit is challenging you to not only look at what really comfort in life means for you. Life has ups and downs, right? And so you can get used to having material possessions, having things situated a certain way, and you believe that is comfort. But nothing is permanent, and life is impermanence. And so right now there's a lot of upheaval, and Spirit absolutely wants you to be mindful specifically of that. What is comfort for you? Are you too comfortable? Is it time to break out of your comfort zone and become more comfortable to the rhythms of life? The energy is here supporting that. Spirit of the fox, spirit of the wolf. Sly and cunning again. And spirit of the wolf, lone, fierce instincts. Again, I do believe you're dealing with somebody who resonates with all of that. Definitely a person who is an artist. For some of you who want to go deeper, like I do, I always want to go deeper in a reading. We're going to go ahead and pull the cards for the extended. So we're going to pull the moon card for a little deeper into what motivates them. We're going to pull the Venus to find out their true language of love. How will they express their love? We will pull the Saturn to see what blocks them, and we will pull the Jupiter card to see what's next in this connection. We will also pull an answer from Spirit to your special question for the extended. So I'll place that right there. And now it is time for us to go ahead and pull out the zodiac runes. I'm so curious to see what kind of zodiac signs might be resonating with this reading. Straight out the gate, a Libra, right? That air energy. Libra, more, and then we'll pull 3 more, 4 total. And there it is, the Leo, right? Leo, very sensitive, very fiery, highly creative. Gemini energy, Scorpio. So that makes a lot of sense, right? Scorpionic energy, very heavy, very emotional. Likes to keep their partner close. Gemini, Libra, 2 air signs, not a surprise. All of that swords energy, and then that fire of the Leo. So this is it for your reading for pile 1 for this pick a card, their true feelings. For those of you who wanted to go deeper, we already pulled your cards for the extended, so that message is sealed and ready to go. The link is below. For those of you who feel called to stay for pile 2, I'll see you over there in just a moment. Pile number 2, let's just jump right into their true feelings. Kisses, affection, love. Who is this person? The animal. Instinctual, connected to the earth. We have strength energy coming in, associated with Leo, strong fire. And we have for this person as well a Page of Cups, true love. True love coming through, affection coming through, desire for affection. What might they do next about this connection? Mars in Pisces, escapism. Someone who's extremely sensitive will work very hard for the love of someone else. And we have Elk energy, Earth energy, the father figure. We're going to get deeper into all of this. This is also supported with the Hermit. This is the card for Virgo. So some of you may indeed be dealing with Virgo energy in your chart or in this person's chart. And you also have a 5 of Wands. So there's some strife going on, a feeling of discord. Spirit wants you to think about cycles, the nature of cycles. And supporting that energy, we have Spirit of the Tower. Big shifts are coming, as well as generosity, assistance, and gifts. So we will be getting into all of these with clarifiers. It's an interesting reading. Somebody there that is connected with you just loves you deeply. Right away, I can see that. And wants to be of immense support. Now, don't forget to stay until the end when we'll be pulling out the zodiac signs from the rune bag to see what zodiacs you might be dealing with. But right away, we can see that this person, from a very instinctual place, natural place, has unconditional love for you. So when we ask what their true feelings are, their true feelings are very authentic and pure. This person either is already in love with you, falling in love with you. They certainly have a deep amount of affection for you, and they resonate with that animal archetype. So this is also someone who operates from a very instinctual place. They're very connected to life in a raw way. This person loves to be out in nature, loves to do things in a very natural way, a fun sort of a fun attribute or sort of propensities. Individuals who resonate with this oftentimes will go barefoot. This is the type of person that never has anything on their feet at home, certainly. They're very earthy. They're very, as we say, animalistic. They operate from an instinctual place, but not aggressive, right? Just simply connected to sort of the lifeblood, the pump and the pulse of life and lifeblood. They have a fire to them for sure. And they want to feel, they want to feel everything. And, they want the most out of everything. They want to feel the most vitality out of everything. So supported with something like strength energy and Page of Cups really tracks. This individual certainly has a lot of fire. I think a lot of times they also will, have to cope with not quelling the fire or putting it out, but not, giving into it. This person is extremely passionate. And when they care about somebody, they're extremely passionate. So they're often times just trying to, exercise either restraint or composure. Page of Cups is, they're very curious. They're very, very curious about this connection with you. This person may also struggle a little bit with outward expressions necessarily of love. On the one hand, they do have this deep passion and desire and physicality, but they have a shyness when it comes to a relationship. So let's go ahead and pull some clarifiers on this individual, their true feelings, the nature of their energy. Right away, you know, we're dealing with someone very emotional. But when we talk about being emotional, they're passionate emotional, right? They're passionate emotional, and they like to show it, but they're shy in love. You know, they're the type of person, especially the type of person who may indeed flirt with everyone in a room, in a very unabashed kind of way. But when it comes to someone they really have feelings for, they might not even be able to look at them, right? So it's this kind of energy, Ace of Cups, and there we have it. They're falling in love with you. That's their true feelings. When we look ahead at what they might do next, we see, you know, Elk energy and Mars in Pisces, escape energy. So escape meaning that Mars in Pisces is highly sort of imaginative and creative. Sometimes, you know, this energy is someone who will retreat into imagination, you know, just fantasizing about things, but not putting actual effort in. Mars and Pisces can be a little bit slow, right? But that elk energy, that earthy elk energy, elk is the father figure. So this individual definitely has strong masculine earthy energy that tracks with that animal spirit, that animal archetype. And yet they have a sensitivity. The other thing with this Mars and Pisces is that this individual in your life has a deep desire to help. They probably work in charitable fields. They may even work with animals, but they are very empathetic and giving. And so what they want to do is be of help. What they may do in this connection to begin to maybe show their true feelings is to provide real sort of support and help. In an area in your life where you might be needing guidance. They may know something about a particular field. They may have a certain amount of knowledge or expertise in something, or they have physical capacity to help you in some way. The elk and this energy together is someone who's extremely helpful, supportive, who leads, who imparts wisdom, who can be a rock when things may be a little bit unsteady for you. The elk is such a strong leader, responsible individual who cares and takes care. It's the father. The father takes care of the community. So this person is going to show their feelings in that way. They're going to try to be very helpful. They're also dealing with some Hermit and Five of Wands here. This is interesting. I feel this energy for you. So I feel that they want to help you, support you, provide steadiness for you, stability for you. I think because, you know, this energy here is that this is for a reading for someone, and you, the viewer coming here for my collective, right now you're going through some things. You may be in a battle. Right now you may be in a battle with individuals to do either with your job or a project or an objective you're trying to reach. And it's taking a toll on you. Hermit energy is there too, you know, in the sense that it feels as though you may be withdrawing into yourself because one part of your life has a lot of aggression, anxiety, and discord. It takes a lot of energy out of you. I think that to a certain degree, it feels to me like there's someone in your life, this individual you're connected to. They may be coming around you. They may be suddenly making themselves available. It may even feel a little bit pesky, right? Certainly for those of you who know this, you know this person's presence is felt in your life. You're thinking about them. You're unsure. You don't really know what's going on. You don't know their true feelings. A lot of this is them seeing you being a little bit withdrawn and at the same time having to deal with a lot of stress in your life. And they have a great amount of sympathy for you. So let's pull one more clarifier for this, and then we'll move on to guidance from Spirit. So if there's someone around you right now who is seemingly making themselves available, seemingly providing help in areas where you may not have necessarily asked for help, you may not even think you need help. You're definitely a strong person who puts up with things on your own, deals with things on your own. I feel like this is for someone who is naturally not a loner, but you're to yourself. You're strong within yourself. And so you're naturally, Knight of Wands, ambition. You're naturally a little bit curious about anyone who is around you so much. And I do feel like this person is around you a lot. And this is one of the reasons why you're curious about their intentions, their true feelings. Knight of Wands is an ambitious energy. So they definitely came into your life with a lot of energy. I think that this person definitely, when they're around you, they're probably very sort of up, very active, very excited, very excitable. They may be having this kind of energy about them when they're around you of just being bubbly, right? Being bubbly, being excited, anticipating, and just sort of responding in a very, happy way to everything that goes on between the two of you. So there's a real fiery, bubbly energy here. And yet they're shy about love. So they're not necessarily being aggressive in a love way. They're not going to say to you, hey, I like you, I want to do this, or I love you, or this is not a seductor, right? A seducer, or a seductress, right? This is not someone who has the gift of gab in that way. A lot of the way they're going to show how they feel about you is just by being available, being around you, being in a happy mood around you, being excited around you. But there is certainly a nervousness that they have about expressing their feelings. So Spirit says what? Cycles. Remember the cycles. Cycles are all about the ups and downs. All right, paying attention to the ups and downs, and also realizing in bad times that it will cycle out, and in good times that, things are fleeting and impermanent. And so Spirit wants you to remember that about your situation in general, and to really be mindful and intentional and in the moment about the nature of how different things cycle. There may be parts of your life right now that are in a low period, stressful, and yet another area of your life, specifically this connection with this individual who comes across as a very sweet, attentive person, this part of your life in an up cycle. And so pay attention to that. Spirit wants you to know, as well as Spirit of the Tower and Spirit of St. Nicholas. So there's that assistance and a big surprise and a shift. Again, this individual who you know and have a connection with, but who is indeed coming across in this, excited, strange way that seems as though they like you, and yet they haven't said anything. There's going to be a big shift, a big surprise here, right? And there's also this generosity and assistance. So I love this reading. This is a surprise, this is a surprise for you about someone who you know, and it's surprising you how deeply they feel about you. Now, for those of you who like to go deeper, just like me, we're going to pull your extended cards. We are going to pull the Moon card for their deeper feelings. We are going to pull the Venus card for their language of love. We will pull the Saturn card for what blocks them. And we will pull the Jupiter card for what comes next in this connection. As well, we will also pull an answer from Angel Guidance on your special question. Now, you can frame your question now or later if you go to the extended. So, finally, we are here and ready to pull out the zodiac signs for this reading. This is a really sweet reading about a sweet connection. I understand why it may be confusing. Aquarius is in this connection. Some of you may be dealing with Aquarius energy. What else do we have? That Capricorn, yeah. That makes sense. Very earthy. Someone who really likes to work on things, build things, plan things, fix things. Cancer energy, that water. Beautiful. And we finally have for you in this connection, that's Sagittarius, another bubbly, sort of optimistic energy, someone who's enthusiastic. All right, everyone. This is the message I have for you and for pile number 2 for this pick a card, their true feelings and what they might do next. Now, for those of you who want to go deeper, we already have your extended card, your cards for your extended reading sealed. The energy is ready. The link is below. And for those of you who feel called to stay with me for pile number 3, I'll see you over there in just a minute. All right, for those of you who chose pile number 3, we are going to jump right into their true feelings for you. So stability, right? Stability, growth, palm tree, a feeling of stability. So who is this person? The Pilgrim. Interesting. They're supported by 6 of Pentacles, a lot of generosity and material stability, so more stability. And they resonate with that divine feminine energy of the Empress. Now, what might they do next in this connection? We have Mars in Aries, extremely impulsive individual, along with that buffalo, the buffalo, earth energy. Wow, wise, earthy, strong. Determined, impulsive, and yet determined. So it's supported with that Knight of Pentacles, the sense of devotion and building, and that 10 of Wands, a letting go. This is an interesting reading. Right away out the gate, I see some interesting twists here. Growth, right? Yeah, the whole reading is about growth, but certainly there is a twist here. And you are supported with Spirit of Light awakening, new beginnings, a new dawn, as well as a final Spirit of the Ring, a promise, a commitment, and a contract. Wow, this is a really interesting reading because right away I'm going to tell you somebody is really changing on you. And for the best, I would say, if you certainly have feelings for this person, don't forget to stay until the end when we'll be pulling the zodiac runes to see what kind of zodiac signs you're dealing with in this connection. But let's get into it. Pile number 3, the Pilgrim and the Palm Tree. So this is what makes it so interesting. When they see you, they see stability, and yet the Pilgrim, the archetype that their energy resonates with, who they really are, the Pilgrim is always on the move. By nature, the Pilgrim doesn't have stability or a permanent sort of sense of a place to be. The Pilgrim, by very nature, is constantly searching, constantly moving, constantly sort of following the path of growth, of more, of gaining knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The Pilgrim is the eternal seeker. And so when they see you, though, their feelings of stability, security, permanence erupts in them. And this may indeed be something that is new to them, is something that now that they're feeling it, they may be wanting more of it. Let us say that there's a lot of generosity here, a lot of generosity, a lot of growth, a lot of abundance. You're definitely dealing with someone who is not starving, right? They're not struggling financially. This person has built up a life. I dare say I feel entrepreneurship here. Although they do resonate with Pilgrim energy, this person probably travels a lot, probably has their fingers in a lot of different projects. This individual, Empress energy, this person loves to create and to grow and to support things. A philanthropist, someone who has a lot of foundations or causes or projects that they're working on, or even if they only just have the one project, there is an innate sense here with this individual that they like to push the boundaries. They like to seek better understanding, new understanding, and at the same time, they are extremely giving and generous. So again, this feels almost like the type of person, though, that someone would say, are they ever going to settle down? Are they ever going to, stop moving? This indeed may be the type of person who has a lot of lovers, right? Bit of a maverick. I love this energy. And yet when they see you, suddenly deep down inside, their deeper feelings, their true feelings, the stirring in their belly is, wow, I might be able to settle down with this person. I might be able to begin to have a foundation. 7 of Wands, a battle. Let me see one more. And an 8 of Cups, a walking away. Interesting. So right now as well for them, they are in a battle. Interesting. This may indeed be third-party energy here, folks. I just want to say, this person, yes, this person is someone who does probably gets a lot of attention, has a lot of suitors, a lot of people who are after them. They probably garner a lot of attention because of not only their wealth and status, but just that kind of sort of, I keep hearing playboy, playgirl attitude, but that lifestyle, right? I don't feel anything toxic or sinister here, but I do feel that this may be a source of struggle and strife in their lives. There's a walking away happening here as well. 8 of Cups energy. There may be indeed a walking away. Something about you indeed is activating this person. Now, this feels like side energy. They may indeed have something going on already in their lives that causes a lot of turmoil, that they feel like they have to constantly hold their own. Perhaps that lacks stability and security, and yet when they see you, they have so much of it. So what might they do next? Impulsive, Buffalo energy. Mars in Aries is an energy of being impulsive, being fiery, but also being highly protective, right? This is somebody who goes after what they want. They're going to go after what they want. They're not going to be shy. If they desire you, they're going to come after you. And that Buffalo energy is there as well. They're very earthy, very wise. Again, this person has a lot of experience manifesting and getting what they want. They know how to put the wisdom into their actions. And yet you've stirred something in them. And they may, as well with that fiery Mars and Aries, act in a very impulsive way. For some of you, this person indeed, by being so sort of generated, such a new feeling being generated in them by you, they may indeed make an impulsive action. Seems impulsive anyway, but they're following their heart, and deep down inside, they know the right step to make. The buffalo and that wisdom is behind it all. But I feel energy of them leaving a situation that's been too stressful and too much strain, because now they see something here with you that is a whole new way. Something that they enjoy, something that they deep down inside really, really crave, perhaps even. This will be a good reading for the extended when we pull their moon card. They're supported with that Knight of Pentacles and 10 of Wands. So that's a feeling of maybe beginning a path, a new path, a strong, devoted path, and also at the same time letting go of a lot of things that held them back. You and your connection with this person and what they do next in this connection has a lot to do with them leaving a current situation that they're in and choosing you and choosing security and choosing a forward progression with you. They're very committed, and at the same time they're also going through a period of finally letting go of burdens and sort of, I want to say, connections with people responsibilities, obligations with people that they maybe felt they had, letting go of all of that. And all of this, because of the nature of who they are, makes them extremely devoted to a new path with you. I love this energy. This is why we have the spirit of the ring there looking ahead. Because the nature of this shift for this person, this pilgrim that you're connected to, is so profound. And also the type of person they are is in general so devoted. Some would say, well, they never settled down. They're not really very committed. They're committed to not settling down, right? So this person is indeed the type of person who has the essence of commitment. It's just what you're committed to. Once they sort of shift their outlook now because of the interaction and the connection they have with you, they will put the same energy of commitment into a devoted, connected relationship as they did into a lifestyle of always being on the road. 10 of Cups. Happiness promises longevity and happiness. This is a strong connection that promises a lot. It may even be a karmic soul connection you have with this person. What does Spirit say? Growth is coming. Again, this may surprise you. This may indeed be someone that you've been connected to for quite some time. And something about the energy now is just allowing both of you to grow in very different ways. But growth also, involves dying and evolving. And so there will be some angst here. There will be some growing pains here, especially because I do feel, and me being an intuitive reader, if you're new to my channel, sometimes these messages vary slightly. If you do resonate with them, it's never going to be exact. But certainly for some of you, this individual, the growth here of this sort of flourishing connection definitely involves as well the death of something else, another connection with someone else that causes some sorrow and it does cause some sort of fallout. Because you can't help that, right? If you fall in love with someone else or suddenly your life takes another turn because of the connection you made with someone and your choices now involve disconnecting, growing, which by necessity involves something else ending or dying, that is just the nature of growth and evolution. There's nothing to be done about that. You can't help that. There's nothing, so there will always be, and this is why we call them growing pains, because there's always some pain to growing. There's always some loss or letting go of something, and that inherently causes pain. Nevertheless, this is the right move. This is a move that karmically this person has had waiting for them in their path for some time. Karmically for you, this is absolutely a soul tie. What else are you supported with? Well, Spirit of Light and Spirit of the Ring, a new day, a new awakening, a new beginning, and a contract. So as I said earlier, for some of you, this connection is with somebody you already know, and you may have already known for some time about this other situation they have here. But because somewhere along the line, everything clicked, divine timing came in, and a shift has happened, there may indeed be a whole new chapter for you and this person, and one that was very unexpected. Because again, this person was the type of person that I'm sure gave off the energy of never really truly being able to settle down. Or if they do settle down, they're very unhappy. This relationship connection side energy for this person may indeed have so much unhappiness and discord and unrest and battling in it, because this particular individual may indeed be wanting this pilgrim to settle down and to change. And the energy connection between the two of you between the two of them doesn't facilitate that. And yet the energy connection between the two of you does. Something about the two of you, something about them now looking at you differently. Something may have changed. There may have been something that happened in both of your lives, some experience that came through, but that shift has happened. And their wisdom and who they are at their heart shifts their entire viewpoint to you. Longevity, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands, letting go, a full change, a full chapter change. With commitment, new dawn beginning, a spirit of a promise, a commitment Definitely some marriage, perhaps. Now, for those of you who want to go even deeper, like I do, we always pull for the extended reading their moon card for their deeper emotions, their Venus card for their language of love. We pull the Saturn card to see what continues to block or be an obstacle here, and we pull the Jupiter card to see what the next stage in this connection might be. And we also pull an answer from angel guidance for you so you can frame your question if you intend to follow the extended. Now, this is the time for us to go ahead and pull out the zodiac signs and see what zodiacs you might be dealing with. Taurus energy, that Earth Taurus, beautiful. What else do we have? That Virgo, wow, Virgo energy, more Earth, a lot of Earth, a lot of Earth. Buffalo is Earth energy. We have Pisces coming in. So that water sign, that strong psychic water sign. And of course, there is your Aries. There is your Pilgrim. You know, the Aries sign really resonates hard with Pilgrim energy in as much as constantly on the search for something new, wanting to innovate, pioneer, expand. But the constant change of that. So this is the message I have for you and for pile 3 today for the pick a card, their true feelings and what they do next. Now, for those of you who wanted to go deeper, we already pulled the cards for the extended, and that reading is sealed and ready to go. The link is below. And that is it for today's pick a card. I wish you all love, life, and happiness. I really hope you got something out of this reading. If you like, go ahead and check out the other piles. All 3 readings today were very, very different. But for right now, I wish you all the happiness in the world, and I hope to see you right back here on my channel for your next pick a card reading. Bye-bye, everyone.